Thank you for tuning in today, guys. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you. I'm with the 5'6" front rower turned professional MMA fighter in the UFC, Greek Macedonian god, husband to Emma, father to Ariana, and destroyer of all things food, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. How are you, brother?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Man, absolute pleasure to have you. I'm excited to see what happens this week with you, man. What's going on? How's things?
Yeah, me too, mate. Can't wait to get in there. Things are going good. Things are going really good. Camp's good. I'm feeling very strong. I'm very fit and ready, mate. I just can't wait to make it 4-0 in the UFC.
Absolutely. I saw that you had your last cardio session this morning, right?
Yeah. Done some smashed some nice, hard, solid sessions. I like to train harder than the fight can be, so it was a solid workout. Nothing too wearing on the muscles, but just straight cardio, solid session. So it was good.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. Like, what's the process for your fight week? Like, I assume it wouldn't be too much actual crazy training, right?
No, it's not. No, not really. Well, it's just pretty good nick, and I want to peak at the right time. Again, you're obviously not going to do too much that's going to risk injury, but at the same time, you don't want to wear your body out, shock the body too much. But that's why you're obviously not going to do strength work. You do that 5-6 weeks and onwards. And before then, that's when you'll be working strength, and then you start building that up. Usually, the last couple of weeks is just cardio.
Of course.
And, but yeah, this week, I just smashed the last session, and just during the week, I'm just going to be with Joe Lopez, my coach. I'm just going to sort of fine tune everything. Stay in good nick, keep my timing there, and just things like that.
Absolutely. So you did your majority of your prep or half your prep in New Zealand too, right?
Yeah, I've done 2 weeks over there.
How was
that? I was down at Absolute in Melbourne after that. But yeah, 2 weeks in City Kickboxing was unreal. They done wonders over there. They got me in good nick, that's for sure.
Oh, awesome, man! Awesome. What was have you done a prep over there before?
Have I been there before?
Have you been to New Zealand before?
I've been in New Zealand when I fought there last year.
Oh, you did too. That's right.
Yeah, in Auckland. So I went there and actually even trained there. Because I know a lot of the guys there anyway.
Yeah, of course.
And I went there just for that, but I didn't really get to do a camp there. So I was just there for a week and done some training there. And it was funny. My last fight was against one of the guys from that gym.
Oh, no way.
So I was training with him as well. I get along with everyone, like I say, I pride myself being a nice, respectful guy, and it was good, man. Like we had a beer after our fight anyway, but I know that camp very well. So going into my last fight, knowing that I had my mate in his corner and stuff like that, it was funny.
That's actually really cool. Like, so seeing as this was the first prep you've done in New Zealand for it anyway, or camp. Was it different to any of the others? And sort of like give us a rundown on how was it on your mental strain not being at home for it?
It was really good. What was really good? Obviously, when you're training at your home, obviously at Freestyle Fighting where I'm based. Obviously, I can structure everything. Sure, when you go to camps and other places, say if I went to Tiger Muay Thai or something like that, you don't really have structure for you. You go there and you do your sessions. You might do whatever you want. You sort of just train. When I'm in Tiger, I've got a few mates over there, so I usually get a few of them, and just so I could do specifics as well for the fights. But it was just good because the structures over there. They knew I've got Israel Adesanya. He's fighting as well. So we're both in camp fighting at the same time. So we structured the 2 weeks the same. You know what I mean? And just everything was good. The structure there was they were training hard, and even with the training partners, plenty of training partners, and it was just really good to have. They would always make sure I had some grinders to, obviously my fighter's a grinder, so they got like specific training partners for me and just made it tough, and it was good, man. Like I said, I got to really structure the 2 weeks while I was over there, so it was unreal.
Oh, that's really good. And did you get a bit of downtime over there too?
No, not really. Just downtime just when I'm resting for the next session, really.
Yeah, of course.
When I go away, I've got to leave the family at home. So, when I want to go away, I go specifically for training. So, I eat, sleep, and train. That's all I do.
How was it?
Fight camp. That's pretty much how it always is. Sorry.
How was it being away from the family for it this time?
It was a bit harder because it was a whole 2 weeks away, and with the two daughters, it was it was hard. I think it was the longest I've been away with the two of them. I usually try and do a week. That's why I haven't been to Thailand for a while, because I like to do a week away at a time. So I don't want to be away too long. But when I made the decision, I'm going to go to Auckland, I looked at tickets, and when I went, it was just a terrible time to go with prices.
Right.
It was so expensive. So I was like, I'm not going to spend over $1,000 on, flights just for 1 week. So I sort of made the decision to do 2 weeks. And the wife, said, look, just do 2 weeks. It's crucial time anyway. And that was the decision we made. So yeah, and then I come straight back. I was here for like a day and a half, and then went down to Melbourne.
Yeah,
so it was,
right.
It's tough, obviously, but it needs to be done. This is my job.
Of course.
This is how this is how you make your money.
Exactly, and I'm sure that they completely understand that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, so that's awesome, man. I'm really looking forward to that too. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, who was the great before he became the great? Before he became the UFC Fighter of the Year today? What was the early life like?
Well, I used to be the Hulk. So I don't know. I don't know if you knew that. Alex, the Hulk Volkanovski. So as you know, or most people know, I used to be. 90s, I used to play rugby league. I played many sports, but rugby league was something I played for, over 10 years, and I was pretty good at it. I was, 97 kg front rower, so you can imagine that, 5'6", playing in the front row, 97 kg. It was totally different to what I am now, but, it was just, that's the sort of that's where the Hulk sort of come from. And I was playing
running straight at you would have hurt.
It wasn't bad at tackling, but running was probably my main thing.
Yeah, right.
I could run pretty hard, lower centre of gravity, and I was very hard to take down. Always had quick play the ball, so I used to do pretty good. I got Big Corona medal, which is Player of the Year in the comp, and got man of the matches in our grand final and Player of the Year a few times and things like that. And I just do really good, really well.
Of course.
I've always loved martial arts. What I mean? I wrestled when I was younger, but it was always something that even when I wasn't even training for it, I'm like, I'll be a UFC fighter one day, and I wasn't even training at the time. So it's always been a dream of mine. But my last year of football, we won the comp, and I scored a try in the grand final, and it was just a good year to end it.
Yeah,
and I had a couple of fights. I had a couple of fights that year, and won them pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
And made a decision to go into MMA.
Also, I was going to ask, what was the what was the decision, and how was it made to make the transition? Again, it was something. I had a couple of fights that year. I seen that there was potential there. I knew I was pretty good at it, and just I don't know exactly what made the decision, but I knew I wasn't going to make it all the way in rugby league. You know what I mean? Like I was always, I made a lot of rep sides and things like that, but I knew I was never going to make NRL. And I'm a pretty competitive person, so I was like, well, if I'm not going to make it here, there's a chance I could make it in the MMA. And so I just made the decision to do it. And then I done it. Like a lot of people thought I was mad. I had people going, what are you doing, man? Like, I mean, you're so good at rugby league, like, just things like that. And it just happened. How did you combat those comments?
It's crazy. At the time, I could, you could see, like, they knew, even though these people that were saying it, watched me fight, knew I was good, but they were just like, you know what I mean? It was just, it wasn't anything promising, but, well, they've all supported me ever since, but I don't know, I don't blame them, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to, these people are like, well, what are you doing? You're mad. And to see that, well, I was right. I made the right decision. Now I'm fighting the UFC. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And they blow out every time as well.
You obviously made the right decision. That's a definite.
Yes, definitely did.
How's life changed since then?
Oh, it's changed dramatically. Even just the lifestyle of being a fighter to, rugby league, and obviously the weight changing and just everything about it. And with MMA, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a roller coaster, man. That's how I honestly tell people how MMA, you know, like if they want me to explain like what MMA is, like a roller coaster of emotions and everything. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, but it's you know, I love it, and it's just it's what I do, and you know what I mean. I absolutely love her. I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything, really.
Explain the roller coaster of emotions a little bit. So, like, what's the highest and lowest sort of points that you get in that roller coaster?
Yeah, well, it's just, look, in MMA, like, you know, the money's not really there, you know. So even at the highest level, a lot of people think, you know, you're in the UFC, you're earning crazy money, you know what I mean? But you need to fight regularly to earn good money, and that's just to keep you going, especially with a family. So, you know, it started off where, you know, I was training, and then I was working and fighting for my first few fights. And then I made the decision when I got the Tiger Muay Thai tryout. I went to the Tiger Muay Thai tryouts. I made the decision then that, you know, I'm going to go full time. You know, so I ended up going full time, and you know, the struggle was real. You know, I mean, like I said, especially in the local scene, MMA, you know, the pay's not the best, and then you're fighting, you know, 3 times a year or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely not enough. Like, you really rely on sponsors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which goes a long way, and you know, you can't thank them enough. But and just things like that. So I was still trying to work and that, and just made it was, like I said, a roller coaster. So you'd win, and I ended up getting, you know, a good streak happening, and I was pushing for the UFC for probably a couple of years. I would have been pushed for the UFC. A lot of people, you know, I was number 1 in Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, number 1. You know what I mean? I hit all these rankings, and you know, I was finishing fights, you know, a really good record. So I was doing everything right, and then I was thinking, you know, what needs to be done to get in the UFC, and I just kept pushing, and it just started to look like, is it ever going to happen? You know what I mean? You've got to think, I'm living, you know, I was living at my mum. When I went to chase the dream of, you know, going full time, we decided to rent my house out, so I could live with my mum and I could chase the dream. So I was doing things like this. So we literally put life on hold so I could chase the dream. And it just started to really started to drag on. And, you know, it was starting to put a lot of pressure on the wife. The wife's been so supportive. But, I mean, you know, you've got to start thinking, all right, what if this doesn't happen? Like, you know, what if you can't live at your mum's house forever? And, you know, and at the time I made a promise to myself that I was going to be in the UFC before my first daughter was born.
Right.
And that didn't happen. So that really, really rocked me, to be honest with you. That's something that still rocks me to this day, knowing that, you know, I made that promise and I didn't make it happen.
Yep.
But, you know, it was this long period of, all right, I should be in there, but it's not happening. Everyone was pushing, and it just wasn't happening. And, man, I even had the pressure with, I'm going to need to move back into my house and start working. So I pretty much made the decision in my head that I think we're going to have to start working again.
Yeah,
and, you know, so I wasn't going to be a full-time fighter, really. So, you know, that could really, really affect the future of, you know, of the martial artist.
Absolutely.
And so I was at breaking point, pretty much. And I remember there was one more last push I was trying to do for a UFC event locally. And I remember there was this 1 week where I can't remember. It seemed nothing right now. Like it was something to do with a push we're going to do. Like it was a video that was going to be released, and it just wasn't happening. And just little things like that was just really, really getting to me. And I remember leaving the gym. So I was at the gym, and I left. It's probably the first time I've ever done it.
Wow.
And even Joe was like, "What's going on here?" You know, I literally turned around, went home. I was like, "No, I've sort of had enough." So that was literally the lowest point in my career. And that weekend, I got my major sponsor, which was, you know, incredible. Like I told you, we in the fight game, sponsors go a long way, you know.
Of course.
And the weekend after that, I got my UFC contract.
Wow.
It was just unbelievable how I literally hit breaking point, and then within a week, I was at the highest of highs in my career. And you know what I mean? It's staying positive has got me through this whole time. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you need to be positive in this game. There's injuries, yourself getting injured, you know, pull-outs, like all that sort of stuff. So much can happen in this game, and I always stay positive. But there was this one time where I tried to stay positive, and it sort of broke me.
Yeah, of
But
course.
the fact that I was positive through my whole career got to where I was today, and the support of the family really helps as well. But and now I'm in the UFC, so it's crazy.
Is there anything that you do specifically that helps you keep positive on that sort of stuff?
Just then, I'm the type of person that it's meant to be. I'm going to be like that. So if there's a pull out, like it's meant to be. You know what I mean? Like just sort of I try and think like that. So I remember when I was meant to fight that first contract that I told you, I got the UFC contract, and I was meant to fight in Manila, and then I was about to travel to Manila, and then the whole card got scrapped.
Yeah,
so I wasn't fighting. And people thought, what? People just couldn't believe my luck sort of thing. And I was like, no, still staying positive. I was like, there's a Melbourne event in 6 weeks. There's a good chance they'll put me on that, and I'm going to have a better preparation. You know what I mean? It's probably a blessing in disguise, so I'm putting this in my head, and that's exactly what happened. And, and then I fought in Melbourne, got the win, a second round TKO, and it just went up from there. So it's just staying positive like that, there's the pull out.
Absolutely.
I remember my last fight, I had a few back injuries, and that was actually pretty bad. I had 2 bulging discs and like a broken fragment all sitting on the sciatic nerve. And, it was looking really bad, looking like I was going to need surgery. What was that, sorry?
So is this in prep or?
This was early, and then I found out that I was meant to fight the last fight. And
that was Sydney, right?
Obviously there was 10, 12 weeks where I was almost doing next to nothing.
Yeah, right.
So you're going to lose a lot in that time. When you're doing not much, you're going to lose muscle. You're going to lose strength and everything. And that's pretty much what happened. So, and I was meant to fight Jeremy Kennedy last fight.
Yeah,
so I'm the type of person, even though at the time I'm staying positive, thinking, no worries, I'll be sweet. And then he got pulled. He got injured. So he actually had a herniated disc, which is funny. I was like, what? I had 10 weeks of this pain with pulling out because of that. But it happens. But I sort of stayed positive and be like, maybe it's meant to be. He's a grind. He's a tough opponent. Maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe that long time I had off was going to make me not perform how I should. You know what I mean? That's sort of how I try and look at it. I just try and take positives out of everything.
Of course. And I love that too, because obviously, mate, the only thing that's going to keep you going is staying positive when it comes down to it as well. But it can be quite hard sometimes when you're in the thick of it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
definitely is.
So with that, obviously, with the transition to UFC and all sort of stuff as well, was there anything you did specifically? Like, would you say you hustled your way in, or were you scouted, or did you put yourself on the front line? Like, how did you make it to the top in that respect? Like, did you put yourself out there enough, or just winning fights to get scouted, or what?
Yeah, it was all of it. Like I said, you need to be, you need to be marketable. You want a following. You want to finish fights. You want a good record, good streak. You want to be one of the best. And I feel like I've done all of that. I was on like a 12-fight winning streak or 11-fight winning streak. I remember going into the UFC, a lot of finishes, taking out multiple different divisions. Remember, I was a lot heavier.
Yeah.
I started in middleweight. So I started in middleweight, and I was taking out some of the best welterweights and lightweights and featherweights in Australia and New Zealand and Southeast Asia. So I really put the hard yards in, and people talk about padded record. That's something that I definitely don't have. And I believe that's I had a lot of eyes on me. I had a lot of people in Australia being like, "Oh, what's Alex going to do to get the UFC?" So I think the UFC started to notice that.
Yeah, right.
And Joe Silva was the matchmaker at the time. He actually was the one who got me in. But before I keep going, I remember I just wanted to remind you I'm weight cutting. So I'm water loading. I'm drinking a lot of water. So you can imagine I might need to go to the toilet. So what can I do to make this work?
Mate, just do what you're going to do. Do what you're going to do. It's all good.
Maybe you can explain how this sort of works, or they get one and they're taken off right now. I'll be back in 1 second.
All right, mate. All right, we're back. We're good.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, sorry, that was probably a bit longer than a second. But
That's okay, bro. Don't stress. All right, so I've still got a couple more questions on the fight stuff. Then I'm going to get into some fun stuff too. But you know what I mean. So this
yeah,
more a
yeah,
mindset
no
sort of
worries.
thing. Like, what does it mean to you to actually be a fighter?
Means everything to me. That's who I am right now. You know, it's my job. It's what I do. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain. Like, I do this for my family now. You know, I've always loved martial art, and you know, I've got that Macedonian and Greek background. So you know, that warrior sort of spirit.
I get it. You want to be a Greek god.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So it's maybe built in me that fighter sort of spirit, but you know, it's my job now. So to me, it's you know how I look after my family. So it's everything to me. Being a fighter is everything to me. So I've turned it into something that I need to be successful, not just because I love the sport, but for the fact that I've got a family that I need to look after, and this is the way I want to do it.
And it's a beautiful way to do it too, man. It's very unique.
Yeah, it's it. Yeah, it is a unique way to look after the family, but you know, it's starting to pay off. You know, like I told you, with all the highs and lows, and you know everything. You know, it's sort of so good to finally be like, oh, you know what, we're getting there now. You know, I'm 3-0 in the UFC, and we're moving up. You know what I mean? So it's starting to really look good.
That's the best, and I'm excited for you, man. Like I said, I can't wait for this weekend. I'll be there right beside you, watching it all happen too, bro. So
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good,
man. So the nickname The Great. You said it was the Hulk before. It's The Great now. Is that a name you gave yourself, or who gave you the name?
Okay, well, yeah. So again, with the Hulk, I was a lot bigger, and you know, now I fight a featherweight, and you know, there's a lot of Hulks out there, and obviously that image just does not suit me anymore. Again, I used to be a big, massive head, and like a bulky sort of guy, but now, you know, even my fighting style sort of, suited that, you know, Hulk smash sort of style, but it's just something that, you know, I thought, you know, it never really worked. It was just something that we had, you know, at the start, it sort of just someone said it, or I said it, because it sort of rhymed with Volkanovski, you know, Hulk.
Yeah, of course.
And then we just sort of we sort of just had written it down, and it stuck for a bit, but it was something that I was always like, oh, I don't know. And then me being Macedonian and Greek, and, you know, my mother's Greek and my dad's Macedonian, just like Alexander the Great, you know what I mean? And, you know, some of them, you know, I've got a bigger Macedonian and Greek support base. And it was something that I was like, oh, you know, that's something cool. It, you know, makes sense. You know, Alexander the Great's mum was Greek, dad's Macedonian, and I just thought, you know what, you know, he was a warrior, you know, a commander sort of thing, and I just thought, you know, it would work, and it stuck, and you know, I tell you what, the Macedonians and Greeks love it.
Yeah, fucking oath they would. So do you think that is something, or like, having these nicknames and all that stuff, do you think that helps feed into your self-belief that you're going to be fucking amazing?
Oh, I don't know. It's you know, realistically, you're going in the fight, you know, I might not use that as a bit of a motivation for me, but it just helps with the whole process. So the whole process of, you know, the whole process of being a fighter, being successful, is having the image. You know what I mean? Having something to talk about. See, we're talking about it right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The marketing side and promoting side of it. It's just, you know what I mean? You know, being a fighter, you know, I wish being a fighter was enough. But there's a lot more to it. You know, and I believe that it's worked for me in my favour.
Oh, good. What? And with all that, what was the feeling like the first time you walked into the octagon, man? For the UFC, what was the feeling like? That was in Melbourne, right?
Yes, in Melbourne. For the UFC. Going in, I say this every time, going in, I'm weird like that. I'm actually really good when it comes to nerves and, you know, focusing on the job. But I didn't really pay too much attention to the crowd. I try to work the crowd as I was walking out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, zoning them out at the same time. So I was trying to work them and, you know, like, you know, get them going, you know, handshakes and all that, and wave to them. But at the same time, I'm just going through the motion. Yeah. And getting ready to do the job. So I didn't really get to enjoy it and try and embrace it till after my fight.
Yeah.
So as soon as, you know, I got the job done, and then as soon as it was done, you know what I mean, it was a relief, you know what I mean. Again, all this, again, like I put the family on hold. I told you, you know, that whole process of getting to that stage and then to finally go out there and finish the fight after a camp and just everything was just a relief.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the perfect word for it. Just such a relief. I remember sitting down in the corner of the cage, hands over my eyes, and like, oh, finally, you know what I mean? We're here, we got the win, we're done. And then I got to embrace the crowd, you know. I end up really getting into it, post-fight speech. I started singing, you know, whoop, there it is, and just things like that. So I got right into it.
I love it. Oh, that's good. I guess it's pretty standard. You know what I mean? When you're on a mission walking in, you wanna stay on point and focused, right? So.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
Oh, of course. So, how do you prepare your mind in the week, leading up to a fight? I'd say that's the most crucial time, right? Like, what goes through your head? What are you thinking about in the week leading up?
Man, I think I'm different to most people. See, I like to have a chat, you know, on the phone like this sort of stuff, just to get through the week.
You know what I mean? Every time we talk, it goes for hours. I know what you're like.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so you know, just things like this to keep my mind off. You know, obviously, you know, I'm not going to be eating much this week and water loading and all that sort of stuff. You know, doing whatever I can, like just going through the process and trying to, I guess, enjoy it, but just. One thing that I'm good at that separates me from a lot of fighters is probably the fact that I can zone out. When I say zone out, like obviously I've got a big fight coming up, but I mean right now I can just talk however, you know what I mean, and like, I can talk about future featherweight title, you know what I mean, and that's definitely my goal and things like that. People be like, oh, you know, he's looking past his opponent. That does not work with me. So once I go straight to the gym and I've got to focus on training, I'm 100% focused on training.
Yeah.
So it's funny, you get what I mean? Like, so I'll, you know, whatever I'm doing, as I'm walking to the cage, I'm thinking of me walking. I'm like, oh yeah, I better not trip over my feet, you know, just things like this, you know what I mean? As I'm going, I'm just going through the process, if you get what I'm trying to say. And then once I'm standing across the octagon, I'm like, all right. Oh, he's eyeballing me now. I don't want to look scared. You know, he thinks he's got me covered. You know, just things like this. And then when I'm about to walk in and do, you know, we're walking to each other, I'm 100% focused on the fight. I believe it's really good, really good. So I can.
You're very focused in the moment.
In the moment, yeah, and it just helps with a lot of things. I think my wife likes to say that's just how boys are. We can't do two things at once. So she's probably got a good point there, but no, I don't know. That's definitely true, mate. If I'm, you know, I don't know, say I'm doing a post on my phone and someone's talking to me, I've got no idea that they're talking to me. And I'll sit there going, what? I'll say that about 10 times. I guess that's, you know, a lot of boys are like that.
Just get tons.
But I'm really, really bad like that. I get paid out for a fair bit. But I mean, in saying that, it really helps me with when it comes to fighting and things like that.
It would massively. If you can stay focused on one task, you'll do well at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's with fucking anything in life, you know what I mean? So like,
yeah, definitely,
mate. Obviously, you brought it up before, and obviously, I probably should ask the question then. But like, have you always been competitive? You said yes, but what do you think sparked your competitiveness?
I don't know, but I've definitely been competitive with everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know. I could tell you wanted to drink your coffee.
I don't even play video games with my mates because I don't want to lose and I don't want to break the control like that. You know what I mean? So actually, I used to play with a couple of mates, and there's been a lot of broken controls. But a lot of times it's not me. So I put myself. I'd rather play with someone, even though I could be good at the game. I just too competitive, and because I can't. Like, I won't play games not only because you know I could lose, but the fact that I can't properly. How could I say? I can't really. You know, I've got to press a button to control the figure or whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
Where you know what I mean, like so it doesn't do exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And that just frustrates me. But so when it comes to with sports and stuff, obviously it's me. Everything's on me. You know, I'm competitive, and at the end of the day, it's on me. So if I get beat, you know, that's my fault type of thing. You know what I mean? Like even football, I found that even in football, like I used to be pretty competitive, And I used to love running. I was always had a very high work rate, and I used to bust my ass. I used to do, 2 hit-ups every set of 6 and things like that. So I was known for my work rate.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this in a bad way. I've probably got some of my mates listening that might take this to heart, but I could be doing this, kill it, do it, like some massive runs and things like that, and then one of the other guys drop the ball, or they're just, they're not having the best game, you get what I mean? And then I could have the best performance of my life, but at the same time our team can lose.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's hard to explain, but not really. That's pretty much how it's there. You would say it. So that was always something. But in the cage, it's all on you.
Of course.
You miss something, that's on you. So I think I love that, and maybe I don't know. Does that sort of show my competitiveness? I don't know.
It's just interesting to find out where people's competitive nature come from. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was growing up in a Greek family too, and everyone was fucking competing against each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's just interesting to hear what everyone's motivation behind it is too. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in a space where if you weren't first to dinner or something, you didn't get to eat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's funny. Even with the wife, when we play Monopoly, I don't play with her anymore because she started taking my strategy.
Yeah, no way.
And she started, she beat me. I'm not playing.
That's hilarious.
And that was a few years ago when we still haven't played.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Nah, that's not really. But at the same time, I remember not getting angry, but I was like, well, you can't just do it all. I just started strategy, and it's just funny how things work. But I guess that shows a bit of my competitiveness.
Oh, of course.
I tell you what, my brother's a lot worse than me when it comes to being competitive.
Oh, really?
Mate, because I used to play indoor soccer and stuff like that. And playing with him, he's probably listening. He's probably going to be listening. He's bad. He literally will tell you what. You miss the ball or you don't pass it to his feet, that thing, you're copping a mouthful, that's for sure. And, if he does a mistake, nothing will be said. If someone tries to say anything to him, he just gets their head off, it's like that.
Oh, wow.
And then after the game, he's like, nothing happened, doesn't even realise he just told the whole team off.
Oh, man, so there's no...
Runs in the family.
There's no way you could have grown up with that brother and not been competitive then.
Exactly.
That's the best. I love it. Do you reckon... Where do you think you get most of your motivation from? You know, man, like obviously the competitive nature is one thing, but obviously your family. But is there anything else outside that, or within yourself, or whatever it is? Like where do you source motivation from and inspiration?
Yeah, well, obviously the family, but the family is just 100% motivation. I need to succeed, but and motivation is just knowing that you need to get better. So even when we're it's hard to explain. So even when I'm at training and someone's showing a move, I don't just try and work out you do this and put that there. I'm trying to work out why it works. You know what I mean? Like, not, I want to know each position. I want to know why that works. You know what I mean? Because I could learn 4 different moves just from knowing why that position works. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'm the type of guy that I like going into fine detail. So I don't know.
So I
don't know what motivates me, but I mean that's just something that it's just like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that probably doesn't.
No.
So just getting better, being better, and you know what I mean.
Just
and knowing to be better,
growth. You
training hard.
Your motivation is personal growth, which is fucking awesome, actually.
Yeah, but I mean that's something that I've always noticed. Like, someone will teach me how to defend a triangle.
Yeah.
And then I'll know how to defend it, and then know how to do a triangle because he wants to do this to stop me from getting this. Then I know that he needs to do that to stop my triangle.
Correct.
So I know if I get this angle and this angle, that defense won't work. So I look at it. I look into fine details, and then I try and work out why these positions working, and exactly. And I believe that's evolved. That's why I've only been in this sport for 6 years. People, would blow out. I'm in the UFC after 6 years of training MMA.
Yeah.
And I believe, and most people know me as very well-rounded and, very, experienced. They think I've been doing this my whole life, a lot of people, until I tell them. So I think that's why for things like that.
Yeah, well, like that's motivating within itself. Like you could just look at your past to be motivated by that too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, 100%.
that's. Do you reckon there's any misconceptions that come with being a fighter?
Say it again, sorry.
Do you reckon
The baby, I had the baby carrying on just as you said that.
we said it'd happen.
Yeah, hashtag family life.
Oh God. Do you think there's any misconceptions that come with being a fighter?
Well, becoming a fighter.
Like, with being a fighter, do you think there's any misconceptions with the people around you? Do they communicate with you differently? Like how does being a fighter affect the way that people communicate with you?
Yeah, definitely. You're always going to have people that we live in a world where it's a brutal sport. We're going to be honest. It's a brutal sport, and a lot of people try not to, they don't get into it, but at the same time, it is a sport, and there's so much skill that gets involved, and a lot of people do, I would say they treat me different, but they do not, maybe like, I pride myself on being a very nice and respectful guy, and you know what I mean, like I'm really very well known for that, so people meet me for the first time, and they just blow out. They expect totally different.
Yeah,
they can't believe that I'm going out of my way to say hello to them. I'm going out of my way to make them feel comfortable. You know what I mean? And just things like that. They're sort of be like, oh, this guy's a UFC fighter, kind of thing again. And like I'm humble. Like I forget I'm a UFC fighter sometimes. I literally do. I sit back and I'll be watching the UFC fights and I'll be like, oh no, yeah, like a full fan. I'll be like, wait a second, I'm fighting the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So I'm funny like that. So I go, I'm the type of person I worry about what people are going to think about me and things like that. So I really do care for people around me, sort of thing. So when people feel that and notice that, they go out. They're like, I've met some of the, honestly, I'm not going to lie, some of the most respectful and nicest guys I've met in the fight game.
Yeah, right.
But people don't know that until they meet them. And like I said, a lot of people just blow out. They're like, far out. I didn't expect you to be like that. I don't know if they expected me to be like, well, what are you looking at? You know what I mean?
Expect you to be just an angry person, right?
Yeah, or just, blank, don't talk to them sort of thing, or, annoyed that they're coming to have a chat about the sport or whatever. But, that's when people come up and say hello to me, and next minute I'm chatting to you, they're trying to run away to get away from me because they're over our conversation.
Yeah, of course. Oh God! So with that, I know that a lot of people sort of connect fighting, with quote unquote sort of like manliness and all sort of stuff, right? And this is a question I ask like a whole lot of different people, just purely because it interests me. What do you think makes a real man?
Say it again. Sorry, I think I sort of lost you there. Say it again.
That's all good. I said a lot of people connect like the fighting with like a quote unquote manliness, right? So, what do you think makes a real man?
What makes a real man?
Yeah.
It's a good question. To me, the man, obviously, again, we live in a different world, so I don't know if I'm going to make some people, I know this ain't bad to, I don't know if I'll make people unhappy, but for me, being a man is, being a father figure for me, I need to support my family. That's how I look at it. A lot of people are, how it sort of is now, but for me, it's, I've got to look after, I'm the protector, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be that strong minded when things are going, I'm actually feel like I'm really good in them situations, like when things are getting, heated, like, a loss in the family or something like that. I try and be that strong rock that people, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
I'll worry about what people are feeling. I'll try and make them feel better. You know what I mean? Like, have them. I don't know, it's just hard to explain, but for me, just being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's funny, actually. Alexander means the protector.
It does.
So I could just go with that.
It does.
I could just go with that. But it's, you know what I mean? It's sort of that whole, I don't know. Yeah, just that's sort of to me what I've now that I'm a father.
Of course.
That's what it is to me. But obviously, not everyone's a father. Not everyone wants to be a father and all that. So it can be totally different. But to me, that's what it is.
And I think
does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think it's okay for everyone's opinion to be different, you know what I mean? But it's just interesting to hear what someone's perception of that is. You know what I mean? Like it's for something that's such, it could be up for debate in so many different ways. It's always good to hear what someone's perception of it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's sort of for me. Again, I just put each situation in sort of what I know and how I look at it. So.
Of course. So I've got one last fight question and a couple of just like sort of fun, playful questions. But it's a big day this weekend, man. And what can we expect from you? What have you been doing differently to prepare for this fight more so than anything else?
I'm in some real good nick. I honestly am. I say this every time I fight. Obviously, again, I told you how I like to stay positive and stuff like that. So even when I had injuries, I told you with my back, and then even the fight before that, at the end of the week, I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be good nick. I sort of have to tell myself that. Yep. But right now, I'm in really, really good nick. Even the training plan has gone, man, this is the strongest and fittest I've ever felt here. And, I'm very positive, weights on point, thanks to muscle meals, So it's just, mate, it's funny, like, I'm even, like, bigger than before, I used to, with my diet, like, I'm going to get into dieting, I used to diet wrong, I used to not have enough calories, and I wasn't eating right, so I started losing muscle. I used to be a pretty bulky type of guy, obviously I was 97 kg, so I was a lot. I've always been stocky, but I lost so much muscle and even strength just purely because of dieting wrong. You know what I mean? Exactly. So, and right now, I honestly look different than I did last camp. With my back injury, I couldn't really work anything. Yeah. So you could honestly see the difference. I have people go, man, you're looking really lean. I'm going, man, I feel good. It's just just everything's on point. I feel real strong. I know this guy's go-to. And he's going to try and grind me down, that's my game, I grind people down. And,
of course.
But that motivated me, knowing that he's going to be like that, made me train real hard, and now I'm in very good nick to it.
I'm excited to see it too. It'll be a really good fight, man.
I'm pumped.
Mate, last few questions. I know you're a massive eater. What's your death row meal?
My best, what meal?
Your death row meal. Last meal.
What do you mean? Like sorry?
As in, you're about to die. What's your last meal?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Your death
I don't know how I missed that. Sorry, I was just breaking up a little bit. All right. You got me here, mate. You know what? Mate, every week I do this with the missus because I like to have a bit of a splurge on the weekend.
Of course.
Of eating sort of whatever I want. And each Saturday day, the whole day, I'm like, man, what are we going to get? What are we going to get? So I get whatever. So, I'm sort of in that same position right now as you speak. But, there's plenty there. Leave it. Give me 1 second. I want the right answer. This might help you. Look, I want to say KFC, but because I always crave it. I don't know, it's something they put in their food. I always crave it, but every time I eat it, I'm not satisfied enough. So I'm not going to say KFC.
I don't find it's fucking mad, but I find it not satisfying after a little while. So
yeah, like I said, I love it, but at the same time, I'm just never satisfied. But this is meant to be a 2-second answer.
No, it's
here
not.
Here I go with my life story. so I do like the Burek, but I won't go to Burek. Mate, I really want to nail this question. I'm going to have to say, I need the wife selfie. What I'm trying to think.
Phone a friend.
Well, mate, I can't believe I'm still thinking of this answer. You know what? Okay, you know what I'm going to say? Because me and the wife are always doing this. If it was the last meal, yeah, definitely. Seafood platter.
Seafood platter,
yes. Sorry for the delay, but seafood platter. We always do that every time we have, Valentine's Day or it's anniversary. We always go and get a seafood boat or platter, like this big. You got the lobsters, the fish, and calamari, everything.
Is there a couple good spots down there in Wollongong?
There is actually. Yeah, I've tried them all.
Of course.
Like I said, I've been with a wife of 12, 13 years. 13 years. So you can imagine that's a lot of Valentine's Day and a lot of
course, birthday.
a lot of and we've done this every time ever since the first year. I'm pretty sure.
I love it.
So I've done them all, and I've got some good spots. I'll give them shout-outs, but they might pay me first.
We'll work on it for
I'm a businessman now.
We'll speak to Reese to work that out.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the most recently played on your Spotify list?
Most recent played song? Oh, mate, this is random. Right now, I have a couple where I was listening to. This is a weird shout out as well, because this guy's sort of his name is Cryptic Wisdom. So right now, you've just called me at a time. This has only been the last couple of weeks. But I remember watching Facebook and this song come up, and he was sort of just freestyling on a microphone, and he's just sort of he just nailed it, and he was so good and talented and that. I was how good this song, and I actually really like the song, so I've been playing that the last few weeks.
Yeah, right.
Khaled as well. Khaled. Silent.
I've been listening to that song Saved on repeat, man.
Okay, yeah, a couple of these songs actually I've been listening to. So them, but I'll give Cryptic Wisdom a shout out. So give it a little listen. He's like a rapper, but he does it all. Like he does his own like sort of the choruses and all that sort of stuff. It's cool.
I'll surely check him out, man. So all right. So he's a good one for you. You've got 60 seconds.
Well, should we save this for after my toilet break?
Yeah. All right. Go.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Go. All right, that's toilet. That's toilet break 2 down, and you got to remember this guy is water loading for a fight this week, so it's all right.
Yeah, exactly right. I hope my phone wasn't too close to the toilet. I don't hear waterfalls in the background.
All right, you've got 60 seconds. Teach me something I don't know.
I've got 60 seconds to teach you something you don't know. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man, you're good at putting me on the spot. Did you know I like seafood? Did you know it'll take me an hour to answer what's my last meal? I bet you didn't know that. No, okay, no, I've still got it. Leave it there. I got this. Oh, mate.
Anything. Oh. It could be about anything. Something that you're passionate about. Something that someone wouldn't know about you. Okay, so that is about me. All right, cool. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. Massive Harry Potter fan. We spoke about this yesterday. That's right. Hey? We spoke about this yesterday. That's right. I was talking about being in London. I got wands and everything. I got a little wand cabinet and everything. I literally have wands. And I get tagged in Harry Potter stuff all the time. Oh, really? I love it. I love it. Mate, Harry Potter, massive. I'm still waiting for that invitation in my letterbox. Again, we'll get Reese to work on that one for you too. Yeah, exactly. Hogwarts. All right. Bring it on. So the closest person in your life, if I was to ask them, what's one characteristic they absolutely love about you, and one that drives them insane? Okay, I guess what they love about me and what drives them insane. Okay, so I guess, like I told you before, I try, it's not really humbling to say this, because I'm sort of but I pride myself on being, a nice, respectful, loyal type of guy. Of course. So I think everyone sort of appreciates that, and I know the wife does as well. But at the same time, it's just funny. At the same time, it can be one of the worst nightmares as well. Because obviously I'm very helpful, I'm that type of guy, but I go out of my way for, we'll be walking to the shopping centre, people want to talk to me, I can't just say hello, and I don't want to come off as rude. So next minute I'm cutting their ear off, and the missus just wants to get a pair of shoes. She's waiting 4 hours because I have to talk to people that said hello to me. Next minute you've been there for 4 hours. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's something that she obviously loves about me, I guess. But at the same time, it could be a worst nightmare. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, so what's something that no one agrees with you on? Something that no one agrees with me on?
Probably how bad I have, we call them cheat meals, how bad I am with my cheat meal. No one agrees with how much I eat on my cheat meal. Everyone knows that, mate, it's, something, like, honestly, it's not good.
So you're just winging it?
Huh? Yeah, mate, I go nuts. If you see me eat, mate, a few packets of chocolates, and like I'm talking family packs of chocolate that I'm taking out with that, whatever, like I told you, I take 2 hours all day to make a decision on what I eat. I get a family meal of one of those, and then family packets of chocolate.
That's hilarious. Man.
I shouldn't be saying that, what I mean? I'm meant to... It's, meant to be motivating people. And
No. It's, you know what? You're probably helping them in respects to let them know that you're human.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
And that's probably more motivating for them, because if they can see that the person that they idolize is human, then that means they can do it too.
Yeah. That's it. That's true.
What's something you're not very good at?
Something I'm not very good at. All right. Mate, I'm not one to toot my own horn, but there's nothing I'm not doing. One thing, I'm terrible at reading.
Terrible at reading?
So obviously I can read.
Do you do audio?
Pardon?
Do you do audio?
No, I can read. Like, I've got no dramas reading, but say if I want to read a book, I'll read through, don't get me wrong, I'll read, but it just does not sink in my head properly. So I'll be reading. That's something, I told you I can really focus on one thing.
Yeah.
And nothing else matters. Reading, it doesn't work. Completely opposite.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know what it is. So there's something that's definitely a problem of mine. So I'll be reading, and then I'm thinking of the beach or something, and then I'm like, wait, what would I just read for the last 10 minutes?
I used to be really like that. I used to be like that too, and I started doing audiobooks. And I found that I use an app called Audible, and they give you free books every month and stuff too. It's actually mad, but I find I absorb it a lot better, because you can focus on and you can do something else at the same time too. You know what I mean? I listen to audiobooks while I'm training now and stuff, and I find it helps heaps, man. Because obviously you can retain it better, and even if it's hard to for when I first started reading, I found it hard to absorb and all sort of stuff as well. But from a subconscious level, once it goes into your ears, it sort of retains a little bit too, even if you're not actually paying full attention. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'm looking at that. Like I said, I don't have any dramas. You put a word and then I have to read it, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll do it.
But
you'll do it.
I'm bad like this because I'm the type of person that I'll just assume what that word says.
Of course.
I'm bad like that. I'll be there. I'll say I'm walking. I go into a street, and it's something. You know what I mean? I'll just. You know what I mean? This is a funny story, actually. I remember we were at Bali, and we were going past, and I seen a bungee sign. So it was a bungee sign, and then just obviously bungee, you should know it says bungee, but I had a quick glimpse of it, didn't properly look at it. I was like, oh, bouncy. And then people were like, what? I was like, oh, and then trying to correct myself, bouncy. Oh, bungee. Oh, bungee. You know what I mean? I literally, that was the process of, I just assumed it said bouncy because they bounce down on the bungee. I don't know, I just did not look at it properly. But I'll do that, I'll look at a street name and I'll just see read quick glimpse at it and just assume that it was,
whatever it was, yeah.
Whatever it is, just assume it's that, and then someone it's that, and I'll look at it and be like, oh shit, it's it.
I love it. Alright, what do you want people to remember you for inside or outside the octagon?
One of the best.
One of the best? The greats?
One of the best. The family man. One of the greats.
The greats. Oh, that's good.
One of the nice guy greats. One of the good guys.
One of the
best
guys
good guys. Game. That's what I want.
One of the
best.
In the whole game.
A real life superhero.
That's what you are to me, Alex. So it's okay.
Oh, thank you.
Any advice for upcoming fighters?
Stay positive.
Stay positive.
I told you that. You know what I mean? If you really are going to take that route, it's a hard route. But obviously there is success at the end, you know what I mean? But stay positive and, nothing just, it's not given to you. So
Yeah,
work hard,
you've got to
train
fight for it.
hard. Everything's got to be, 100%. Never think that something's good enough. Always be prepared for the worst.
Of course. And where can we find you on social media? It's just Alex Volkanovski on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Alex Volkanovski on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
And Alexander the Great Volkanovski on Facebook. And give me a like.
I'll make sure everyone does. I'll make sure that everyone that listens to this tags you in it as well. But any signings in Perth? Any fan meetings?
Any signings? Did you say signings?
Yeah, signings of fan meet and greets.
There will be actually. I couldn't tell you. I'm only a Friday night, so stay tuned. On a Friday night, I will be doing a signing somewhere, and just hit me up on social media, and I'll definitely have details in there during the week.
Awesome. Any last words, bro?
Any what? Sorry.
Any last words?
Any last words? No, thanks for having me. It was a great chat. I hope it didn't go longer than you expected because I like to chat.
I knew it. I was pretty bang on. I said about an hour.
Yeah?
That's bang on.
Usually a 10-minute podcast and you knew it would be an hour now.
I love it. Oh, look, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the weekend as well. Good luck with the last couple of days, and man, just keep the water flowing through, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Water's going to be flowing.
All right, bro. I'll see you on the weekend, okay?
All right, thanks.
See you, brother. Bye-bye.
See ya.